Hi, welcome to another INFJ INFP video today. What we will be discussing is if there's any correlation between our Myers-Briggs types and our astrological or our zodiac signs. Before I get into that, it's interesting kind of how that poll idea came about and why we wanted to see if there was any correlation. I run a website on Instagram called INF_page.com, and it's basically a hybrid of sorts. It's for introverts, it's for INFPs and INFJs, and the reason I've combined those two Myers-Briggs types is even though we're very different as far as how we use our processes, it seems like we're very similar, and a lot of people often question whether they're an INFJ or an INFP just because I think we all have that same, a lot of the same core things that we believe in, a lot of the same core morals and values and different things. So that's kind of why I'm combining it. As far as I find both types very fascinating, but I feel like they can be combined very well. They're a nice complement to each other. We seem to get along with each other very well. So I've just been combining primarily on my website, but on my Instagram page, but on this YouTube channel as well. I might start to mix those two. You know, I would still have INFP exclusive content as well as some maybe that would be exclusive to just INFJs. But just, you know, for now, I'm finding that I'm merging the two together because I do that so often on my Instagram page. Anyways, how this poll came about was a few friends of mine and you know, we were discussing different types and zodiac signs. It came about because I was speaking to an INFJ friend, and she's a Scorpio, and I have found that other INFJs that I have known have also been Scorpio as well. So it seemed to kind of fit, like, wow, like that kind of started to ring true for me. And as I thought about it in my own life, being a Gemini and an INFP, you know, from what I've heard, Johnny Depp is an INFP, and he shares my birthday, so he would be a Gemini as well. Along with another friend of mine that's an INFP Gemini also. So it started to pique my curiosity, and I started to wonder, like, is there really a correlation behind that? So what I did was on my page, my Instagram page, which is at INF_page, I ran a little impromptu poll. And I got about 150 results, little bit over actually. So thank you to everybody that did respond to make this poll possible. I hope you had fun. I had fun looking at the results and tallying them up, along with creating a pie graph, a pie chart to show off, you know, what variables there are and where everybody falls as far as percentage-wise. But you know, on the test, I did pose the question. This is important to note because I did pose the question that I personally felt maybe that more INFPs were Geminis and that perhaps more INFJs were Scorpios. So there was a bit of a bias, and I'm not saying this is scientific. This isn't a controlled study. Nothing of the sort. It's purely for fun and information, but it might hold some water. I'm not sure. And you know, I do find it interesting just with the amount of people that responded, where the types fell, along with how they fell, and I'll explain that a little bit more in detail here in a moment. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to start out and read you some of the results, the top 4 or 5 results. I won't go into them all. I will have the rest of them on my Instagram page. You'll find the full chart up there of all 12 signs, along with the poll results. I'll put that down in the description below. It's at INF_page on Instagram. Hopefully starting a Facebook page soon as well. But just to give you a quick rundown of the top 4 or 5 right now, without having the graph, the pie chart on hand. With INFP, what I found, and we did lead in with the question if INFPs are primarily Geminis, what we did find was that 17% of those people responding did say that they were an INFP Gemini. So I found that interesting, that it did back up our thoughts that perhaps that could be the case. And I'm not sure that it actually is. I don't know that there's a correlation, but I just found that interesting. Second to that, running in second and third place with 16%, was both Aries and Pisces. So I found that really interesting. That's a high number as far as this you know, out of 12 signs goes. That's a pretty high number. And then after that, again tied for 4th and 5th were Scorpio and Cancer, and they were both at 9%. From there, it starts to fall off a bit. And excuse me for these notes I have. My computer went down right before I filmed this, and the show must go on, so I just did it anyways. And now I have paper notes that I'm referring to instead of my nice written computer notes that I usually use. So that's the INFP, like the first top 5 kind of summed up. If you didn't hear your zodiac sign in there, go check out our chart on our Instagram page, and you'll find the full 12 zodiacs listed out there. Now, moving on to INFJ, we did pose the question as well if most INFJs were Scorpio as far as their zodiac sign, and 18% came in and said yes, that Scorpio was their zodiac sign. So that was interesting. Second to that, a very close second at 16%, was Leo. Leo came in and roared and said, yeah, we're INFJs, hear us roar. Then on third and fourth place was Libra and Virgo, and they both fell at about 9%. So what I found was interesting was a couple of things. First off, that I wondered if we would find that a lot of the same signs were represented in both the INFP and INFJ, you know, polls, because maybe more people are born during those months or something. I'm not sure. I have never looked at those statistics, but no, that was not the case. It was a wide range of different types that fell in on the you know, the top 4 or 5. So that was interesting. Another thing that I found was interesting was as the poll was being taken, that a lot of people were noticing and calling out, you know, INFJs were seeing that a lot of Leos seemed to be popping up, and they, you know, so I saw that people noticed that in the poll itself. And then on the Gemini or on the INFP side, a lot of people saw that the Aries was showing up a lot, and you know, the poll does reflect that. So that is the top few as far as zodiac signs and Myers-Briggs lineup. The full chart again is at my page at INF_page. It's hard for me to keep remembering that, but I just have to remember that the P and the J are blank on that. So yeah, you can see the full results on there. I will put the link down below in the description here. But also what I would like to do is to carry this poll on a little bit. If you are either an INFJ or an INFP, if you could comment below and let me know which what zodiac sign you are, along with what type. I think that would be interesting to carry it on beyond the Instagram poll. Anyways, that's what we found out. Not scientific, pretty much just for fun. But also, in my opinion, interesting, and I'm going to share it with, you know, I wanted to share it with you and share it with anybody that might be interested in looking at it as well. So thank you to everybody that did participate in the poll. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, be well.